but I'll share my screen. The other thing that you're going to want to have open, and I would suggest you do it on your laptop rather than on your phone, would be Google Sheets, because we're going to make it really easy to order our data. Like when we had to do that by hand yesterday, it took a whole lot longer than we really wanted it to. So, you know, I think with this lesson 1B, I think it would be really nice to have, obviously, the notes for today, so you can jot stuff down. Any way you can get to Google Sheets would be great, so that we can just type in the numbers and then order them. And if you remember it from last semester, then good. Otherwise, I'll definitely show it to you again today, how to sort that data from least to greatest. Super easy once you know how to do it. So open a separate tab if you haven't done that yet. And you don't have to share it with me. You don't have to share the Google Sheet with me. You don't have to save it. It can just be kind of a working blank space that we use from time to time, and you just delete what old stuff and then bring new stuff back in. So good to see you guys. Happy Thursday. Go to Canvas if you haven't, and if you want to open up the notes that way and do them digitally. I saw some people just kind of copied that in and wrote right on it. That was awesome. Works for me. Some people took a screenshot of the PDF or downloaded it and wrote over it. That's cool too. And of course, handwriting stuff is always good to go. Let me actually grab my other laptop though, because I'm going to have the screen up and I want to see you guys. Good news from the board meeting on Monday is that they are shooting for, like I said, an earlier return, but they did throw out a date, January 25th, as a potential to return hybrid. So that's awesome. I'm really hoping that works out. That would only mean that after this week, we would have 2 weeks where we stay remote, and then we would be back in the classroom. I don't know what that means in terms of scheduling. My guess is we would just kind of go back to that same cohort system, where you've got cohort A Monday, Wednesday, cohort B Tuesday, Thursday, and then Friday would be asynchronous stuff. So we'll see how that works out. Hopefully that it does. So that'd be awesome. Okay, cool. So now I can see you here, even though you can't. I don't know which camera switch. There we go. All right, cool. So take out that lesson. Have Google Sheets open. I'm going to share my screen, and we're just going to do a slightly different version of stem and leaf plots called split stem and leaf plots. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen and present here in a second. And just stop me. If you guys have any questions, just stop me. Let's make today a quick one and just make sure we can knock this out. And then I'll have something for you just for attendance purposes, but also to help me with data collection. Because when we do some statistics stuff, I want to actually use data from you guys. I don't want to just pull random stuff from the internet. That's not nearly as fun. Cool. So lesson 1B, again, keep in mind that you'll just take a picture of whatever you write down today and upload it to Canvas. I dropped the link to that right on today's announcement as usual. I'll try to do that as much as I can. This PowerPoint is also linked. So if I'm going too slow or too fast, you can work ahead. And when you get it done, then we're good to go. Okay. So split stem and leaves. And the idea with split stem and leaves is that sometimes we have so much data. So much data that the leaf might just be super long, or that maybe we're dealing like with this example right here with two different genders, and it might be really helpful to juxtapose the two, to have them next to one another. There's a nice SAT word for you guys. To juxtapose is to put two things next to each other to more easily compare them, so that you can look at the data and not have to do a whole lot of thinking to make bigger inferences, or to be able to understand it better just by looking. Okay, so here's where I think Google Sheets is going to come in handy. And what I actually did is I dropped a QR code down there that has all of that data ready to go. That has all of those numbers in there. So if you want, you can take a, use that QR code to open it up. What I'm going to do actually from the other computer real quick, I'm going to drop the link to that in the chat. Let me just pull that up. Drive. Teaching remotely is way more work than I ever thought it was going to be. Goodness. Cool. All right, so back to the drive. I'm gonna find this one for you guys, especially because I teach right before this, and I can teach right to the bell. It's exhausting. Let's do it. All right. Cool. Data and decisions was last semester. Prob stat for this one. And the idea is that we want to use Google Sheets to help us organize this data super fast. And just like we did with some of the Google Sheets project stuff that we did last semester, having a way to just kind of drop stuff into Google Sheets and organize it quickly makes stuff a ton easier. So the thing about that QR code is it might not be quite as easy to to do on your laptop, because you can't really take a picture with your laptop. So I'm gonna get the link right here. I think I might have dropped it on the announcement. I'm not sure if it did. I see somebody on there already, so that's good. I'm just getting the link real quick. And so there's the start there, and I want you guys to make a copy of this so you can mess with it yourself. Obviously, you can watch me do it for sure, but the idea is that you are kind of getting your hands dirty, just pressing the buttons yourself. So in the link in the chat is a link to that. I'm actually gonna go back to that so we can all do it together. You can watch me do it. So I know I'm still sharing. I just wanted to be able to open it up here. Okay. So I'm gonna mess with it right on here, but I want you to mess with it yourself separately. Okay. So if you're gonna do that, come up to the top, go to File, and then make a copy. Okay, and that'll get you in to your own. And then click on the one that just says Rosengren at the bottom, because that's the one that I'm gonna be messing around with. But it's all the same data, just kind of repeated. And what I wanna remind you of, or teach you, if you don't remember, if you haven't seen it before, how to sort this data from least to greatest. And we're gonna do each one of these columns one at a time. For A and B, that's this example right here. You're gonna see D and E, there'll be another example that will do the same thing, but we can do it all right now, all at once, okay? So with column A, what I wanna be able to do is just take that data and organize it. But if I click something like Control A, or on a Mac, Command A, it's gonna select both of them. Which is fine, but maybe I only want to sort one piece of data versus the other. If I press Control or Command A again, then it selects the whole thing. What I want to do just for now is I just want to sort column A. So if I click on column A at the top, if I click on that A at the top, I'm good to go. And again, unmute yourself or drop something in the chat if you're confused, or if you need me to slow down or speed up or whatever it is. But if I click on column A, it's just going to select that, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to go up to your menu up here at the top, and you want to press Data. Okay. Now, I know that it has these options here: sort sheet by column A from A to Z, which would be least to greatest, or from greatest to least, Z to A. Sort this range, which is what we've selected, from A to Z or Z to A. But the issue that happens is that because we have a title, we have a heading in column in row 1. What I like to always do, and I do this myself when I'm messing around with stuff in Google Sheets, is I always click Sort Range. So again, Data, Sort Range. And the reason why I do that, because now this first checkbox, Data has a header row. If I click that, it's not going to sort row 1. It's going to say, oh, that's the title of whatever you're looking at. Okay, cool. Now I'm just sorting by female data. A to Z being least to greatest, Z to A being greatest to least. We want from A to Z. And if I press sort, now you can see that column A still has female data up at the top. And now everything is listed from least to greatest. And that's all we wanted to be able to do. Okay, let's do the same thing with column B while we're here. Okay, so click on column B, the actual letter B. It'll select just that column. Data, sort range. Click on the checkbox so data has a header row, basically your title for whatever you're looking at. And then we're good to go. Sort by male data from A to Z, that's what we want. And we click sort and it automatically does it for us, which is so nice. And it doesn't mess with anything from column A, doesn't mess with D or E. We've got everything that we needed, okay? Now, here's your job. On your notes, write down that data now that it's sorted. So now we'll go back to the actual notes that we've got. And you've got your female ones, write all those down. I'll give you a minute to do that and do the same thing for male. Okay. If you want to just look at it on my screen so you're not looking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, now it's all presented all in order. But now you can do that because that's what we're going to get to. We're going to get to the point where you guys do it yourself.
Can we make a copy of this?
Absolutely. Yeah. Now that it's sorted, absolutely. And that's the thing is that you've got this living, working Google Sheets that as we're working through, now it's already sorted. But I just want to make sure that you know how to do it on your own, right? Data, sort data, and then data has a header row, and then from A to Z. For sure. But that's why I pulled this one up so you guys can just copy that down. So write that down, take a minute. For attendance purposes, I need you guys to leave your cameras on as often as you can. So if you could do that, that would help. I know it's kind of a pain, but I appreciate that. And if you have to get up and go, you don't have to turn your camera off, just go. If you got to go to the bathroom, get a drink of water, get something to eat, just go. But seeing you there really, really helps me out. As much as this sucks for you guys to be stuck at home, it really sucks for me as a teacher who is such, you know, I don't know. I thrive around other people. That's when I do my best. So seeing you guys, I appreciate that. Cool.
Rosie, how do we make a copy of the thing on your screen right now, of the lesson?
So this PowerPoint is on Canvas. Okay. So if you go to today's announcement, I'm gonna start doing that too. Anytime I've got stuff that that I'm gonna present to you, I'll try to share that with you so you've got it.
Yeah.
If you go to Canvas, it's got, you know, obviously the link for today's Google Meet. It should have the copy of the notes, and then right underneath that, it should say like something like today's PowerPoint if you need it. Should be right there. And it's also in the module itself right on Canvas, so that you don't have to go digging through announcements to go back in case you need to go back to something. Sigmund and I are trying to make this as easy for you guys as possible to get all of the information all in one spot. I still see people looking back and forth a little bit, so I'm going to give you another minute to knock this out. Jack's good to go. Cool, sweet. Feel free to mute yourself if you want. It's all good. I know my phone went off during second period. It was no fun. But it is nice to hear you guys. So thank you guys for being a part of this. It's awesome. I cannot wait to have you guys back in class. And it would be so awesome if this whole crew could be in one class together. That class would be a blast, man. I would love that. So let's get to that. Let's get back to full in person. That'd be so
Rosie,
cool.
I'm kind of confused what we're supposed to do with the information right now that we're supposed to type in or whatever.
So you've got the data from the Google Sheet that I put on the chat.
Yeah.
It was exactly what was here. And all I really wanted to remind you of, since you were in data decisions last year, is how to sort data from least to greatest using Google Sheets so that you don't have to do it by hand like we did yesterday, where we had to like look around and find the smallest one and then check it off. And then look at the next smallest one and then check it off. If you can just type them all in who cares what order you type them in, you just put them all in one column, just like I did it for you. I gave you the copy of that. If you just put all of your data into one column, then you can just sort it yourself. And that's the idea. Is I want us to kind of rely on the technology to do the kind of the grunt work for us, kind of that brute force stuff, the jackhammering of the math, where you have all of this like slow, painful kind of, you know, prep work to do to get it the way you want. That's all.
What are we supposed to do after we sort it?
Write it down in your notes, because now, so what you're looking at on my screen right now is just write it down. Yeah, so write it, and you can have it, again, if you don't want to handwrite notes, you can take pictures of stuff that you've done digitally. And if you have your own copy of this, awesome, let's do it. The idea now is we're going to take this already nice sorted data and we're going to make a stem and leaf plot. But like, if you look at what's on my screen right now, if you look at the Google Meet, the stuff that I'm sharing, look how many numbers for females are in the 60s. Look how many numbers for males are in the 70s. If we created our stem and leaf, and usually with these 2-digit numbers, our stem would be the first number and our leaves would be the second, we would have one stem for 6 and we'd go on forever. And I don't have enough space on a page to do that. And so what I'm going to show you today, and if you guys are ready, and I think you guys are, what we can do with this is we can create what are called split stem and leaf plots, where instead of having all of the 60s all in one stem, we can actually split them into 2. Okay, where we take all of our data, because we have so much in, like for example, in the 60s, and we can chop them in half. And we're going to have what's called split stem and leaf plots, where we take 2 of the same stems, 6, like 60s, all of our 60s, and just chop them in half. Okay, and the way to make this work, because we've got 10 possible numbers in the 60s, we're going to take the first half and make it 1 stem and leaf, and we're going to take the other half and make that the other stem and leaf. But we have to think about how to do that, because when I start at the 60s, I'm not starting necessarily at 61. I know this data does start at 61, but there could have been a 60, right? And so when I think about, and I'm holding my hands up so that you can see this, when I think about splitting 10 possibilities, everything from 60 to 69 in half. Look at what my first hand does. 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. Okay, so you can see on my screen right now, I've got 6 and 6 split. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the numbers, all of the data that goes from 60 to 64, and make that my first stem and leaf. And when I get to 65, I'm going to make that the second one. Okay, so you should have a spot in your notes that has this stem and leaf spot available to you that should allow us to break a lot of data up into not 1 stem and leaf just for all the 60s, but 2. Okay, and so you've got 60 through 64, and then 65 through 69. And we really only use these split stem and leaves when we have a lot of data that just isn't easily split quite as nicely. Okay, so when we have it, and it doesn't even have to be necessarily like, or we have a female stem and leaf and we have a male stem and leaf. Yeah, that's like 2 separate things of data. Maybe we just have like one big set of data that's just got a lot that we just can't split as nicely. Same thing for the 70s. I'm going to put all of the 70s between 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, and then all of the 75, 76, 77, 78, 79s all in a separate stem. Now, if you look at the data that we've got for this, right? And these are just heights of people, right, in inches. That's why the males are more into the 70s and the females are more into the 60s. When you look at the data for the females, when we get to the second stem for the 70s, there's nothing. And that's okay. But by writing that 6677 and leaving the rest of that leaf, that stem and leaf on the bottom, by leaving that all blank, it makes it really easy to tell that there isn't anybody 75 and above. What's up, Maddie?
Why wouldn't you put like the zeros in one 7 column and the 2s in another 7 column?
Really, really good question. Think about how we split the 60s, right? It was 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. That was how we decided to split it, 60 through 64, and then 65 through 69 was the other one, so like this, right? Whatever way we decide to split the 60s, we want to split them the same way with the 70s. Because now I can kind of compare them visually this way. And if I saw 70, like with, okay, 700 and then 722, it's not a consistent way to split our stem and leaves. Is that cool? Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So whatever way we decide to split it, and maybe we split it into 2 stems, or maybe we had like 100 pieces of data that were all in the 60s. Well, maybe we would split up them into 10 stems, 60s, 61s, 62s, 63s, and we would have 10 different stems with all those leaves. But whatever we choose for the split, we just want to be consistent. Okay, and of course, we'll drop a key in there. All right, we've got a spot there, and you can pick any data point you want. 6, and again, make that line for that separates your stem and your leaf, make that probably just a little bit taller than that one is right there, okay? And if that's the way we're gonna split the stem and leaves for the females, let's do the same thing for the males, okay? We'll have our 6677 going down there. And then we'll split it up the exact same way, 60 through 64 for the first ones, and then 65 through 69 for the second ones. Which I know it's kind of weird to like put 65 in the second group, but when you break it down, you've got 10 numbers in the 60s, but it starts at 60, not 61. Okay, and the same thing for the 70s, right? All of your 70 through 74s, and there's a bunch of them for this one, and then all of your 75s through 79s, and again, pick a key. It just happens to be the same one. That's cool. Doesn't matter. So I'll give you a minute to jot that down. And then I'm just going to give you guys one to try. I want to give you one to practice. And when you're done, and you can get out of here. All you have to do is make sure you take pictures of what you've done, upload them to Canvas, say goodbye so I know that you're out of here, so I know that you're leaving, and just check Canvas for tomorrow. Okay, but take a second, jot down the work that we do for the males there. It's the same setup, right? We already ordered the data on the Google Sheet, so we don't have to worry about that. 60 through 64, 65 through 69, 70 through 74, 75 through 79. And it's so easy. I mean, if I just look on my screen right now and I say, okay, what group do most men fall into in terms of heights? Oh, between 70 and 74. How can I tell that? Because the group is split and the 70 through 74 stem and leaf is the longest one. And I didn't have to worry about counting. And that's the thing that I'm trying to take away from us, is have to worry so much about counting and make it more of a visual thing. At this point in our lives, in this point in history, we are so visual when it comes to learning. And of course, we're kinesthetic too. We had to put pen to paper and actually get our hands dirty. You want to learn how to fix a car, you can't just watch a video. You got to actually do it yourself. You want to change your own oil, you got to change your own oil if you want to learn how to do it. You know, that kind of thing. But the combination of the two is the best learning strategy for almost everybody. Okay, a combination of being visual and kinesthetic. Kinesthetic means using your hands to learn. Okay. So then try the second one, right? If you go on to that that second one, This is just a little bit different. I know it's similar types of numbers, so I think our key can be really similar because we're dealing with 2-digit numbers. But now we're looking at resting heart rates and beats per minute for two people, again, separated by gender. Okay, so create split, stem, and leaf plots for each gender. I went ahead and helped you out by, in that Google sheet that I shared with you, I already wrote the data in for you. Now it's up to you to sort it. Okay, so you would go, I'm not going to do it for you. You got to do it yourself. You got to go to column D, click on it, and then go to data, sort data, and repeat that process. Okay. So it could take a couple minutes. I will hang out until everybody's done so that if questions do come up or if you need help, I'm happy to help. But as you finish up, might as well just get it done now and then you can go. So you don't have to worry about anything else for the rest of today. Get it done, take a picture of whatever you've done or share it with me, right? But however you want to get it to me via Canvas would be great. Canvas is really the only place where I'd like work submitted. But if, of course, Canvas can sometimes be a pain. I know people have run into some issues where, you know, your internet at home hasn't been great and, you know, it's just not saving. You can always email stuff to me if issues come up. I'm super flexible with stuff like that. And then just later, just upload it to Canvas so we can always go back to it. That's the nice thing about Canvas is if you do work and you upload it, you have it there for the whole semester. You can always go back to look at it. And in fact, even stuff from last semester, even though that class might not appear published on your Canvas, if you click on courses and go to all courses, you can see all of your previously enrolled classes and you can check out everything that's up there. You can go back to old assignments and view them, save them, download them, whatever you want from any class. So if stuff like that is helpful, it's good to know, okay? So I'm gonna stop talking because I know that's my biggest flaw as a teacher is I don't know when to shut up. So I'm gonna stop talking, let you guys do your thing. If questions come up, just unmute yourself and give me a shout. When you are done, upload it to Canvas and then just let me know that you're headed out.
Hey, Rosie.
Yeah.
It's not letting me like submit it.
Oh, okay. Let me see if something is up on my end.
It didn't let me submit it either, so I just sent it to you on email.
Okay, so let me fix that. Oh, submitting nothing. That's why. Okay, so let me fix that on my side. It's just a Canvas setting. Submission type. Let's do online. File uploads, unlimited submissions, everyone do good. All right, refresh that, that page, the assignment page, and now you should be good to go. So if you didn't submit it to me separately, just do it this way so that I can just run through it all at once because I can grade really quickly on Canvas. I can just knock everybody out and I can see who's done it and who hasn't. Super easy that way. So upload it and then you guys are good to go. Thank you for letting me know about that. Appreciate that. Sorry, Rosie. Who's that?
Hey, Rosie, I submitted it.
Rosie, I submitted it.
All right, cool. See you, Trey.
See you, Rosie.
See you, Peter. Just check Canvas tomorrow so you guys know what you guys need to do.
Rosie, I submitted it.
Awesome. Thanks, Kyla. See ya.
Bye.
Bye, Abby.
Is Google Meet required for tomorrow?
No, never on Fridays.
Okay.
What I'll probably do is I'll do that like a quick Google form, right? That'll be your attendance. But I'll also, I'm going to ask questions on those Google Forms on Fridays that we're going to use your answers as part of what we like part of what we use to learn statistics and probability this semester. So like, I think tomorrow is going to be like, how many pairs of shoes do you have? You're just going to count them for me, but we're going to use that data to model some stuff that we're going to like learn next week or the week after or the week after that. So not just for attendance, but also for like class. It's going to be super helpful that we use this stuff in class. So, so yeah, just check I'll probably even put it up sometime tonight, if not early tomorrow. I'll just attach on the announcement for tomorrow. I'll just put a little Google form on there, name and a couple questions, just to kind of reflect on the week and collect some data from you guys.
Rosie, I just turned mine in, but it was flipped upside down. So.
Oh, upside down is fine because I can easily rotate it on Canvas for me. So if it happens to be upside down or sideways, not a big deal. I click a button and it's all good.
All right. Is that all
I
you need?
submitted.
Awesome. See you, Jimmy. Bye, Sydney. You're all good.
See you, Rosie.
Have a good day, everybody.
You too.
Can I do it on Google Docs?
Yeah. You can upload
Okay,
file
because I don't have a printer, and I'm planning on getting those physical packets from school sometime. So I'm just doing it on Google Docs, if that's okay.
Perfect. Yeah, my plan is to hopefully have copies for next week ready to go tomorrow. So if you guys want to drop by school tomorrow, you can do that. But
Okay.
You never have to do stuff by hand unless I explicitly tell you that. I'm happy with you guys using any platform that works. I'm cool. Yeah.
I know, yeah, it's just hard right now.
Yeah, all good. No worries.
The guy got mine in.
All set, Patrick. Awesome. Thanks, bud. I will catch you next week. Just check Canvas for tomorrow.
See you, man.
Thanks, man.
I sent mine in.
Awesome. Thanks, Bree. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this one just like 1A?
It's similar. The thing that we did yesterday is that we didn't split up any of the data as like 6, 6, 7, 7. It was just like 6, 7, 8, 9. We had numbers in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And so we didn't have to worry about splitting them, but we did order them from least to greatest when we did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so the video from yesterday is up. But the PowerPoint is not on Canvas yet. But what I'll do is I'll go back to yesterday's announcement. Actually, I'll do that right now. And I will put a link to the PowerPoint so that if you want to just kind of work your way through it without watching the video, you might be able to follow along on your own. Let me do that right now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm done, Rosie.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Have a good week. Cool. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too, bud.
I'm all done. I'm gonna go submit it.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Cammie.
Rosie, got one quick question for you.
Shoot, Xander.
I joined the class late. Was I marked as absent?
I haven't taken attendance yet, but you'll probably be marked tardy.
Okay, yeah, I joined like 5 minutes late. That's
good. So you probably didn't miss too much, I would guess, right? You feel like
no, I'm pretty on track right now.
Sweet.
I'm almost done with it.
Cool. So yeah, don't worry about it. As long as you're here, I mean, I'm gonna start as close to on time as I can so I can get you guys out early. That's what I always want to do.
All right. Thank you.
You got it.
Rosie, I also had a question. I got to the class a little late, but
Okay.
it wasn't. It was like my internet, and it kept on kicking me out.
I know and my internet at home is really lousy too. So like that's gonna happen, and don't so this semester, tardiness is not something I'm gonna hold against you because of the internet on a remote. That's it's just I just have to take attendance based on what happened, but I can easily put a comment in the attendance on Infinite Campus that just says internet issues or something like that. You know what I mean? So if that comes up, just let me know. It's all good. If you miss class and you're absent, it's not gonna hurt your grade either. As long as you get the work done, I'm good. I really am. Yeah, don't sweat it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I finished too, Rosie.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Maz.
I also finished.
Great. Have a good weekend. Okay.
You too.
Bye.
Rosie, I also finished, but I have a question.
Sure, shoot.
So does every single number have to be split even though there's like two numbers? Like for the second problem, the gender one has 69 and 69 2 times, do I have to split them or could I put them in the same thing?
So for the second one, you have 69 twice. Look at my screen now that I'm sharing. You see how there's 2 9s?
Yeah.
So you want to have a spot for each one, and you want to have them lined up like that, so that when we have it kind of filled out like this is what it'll look like when we're all done. I can easily kind of count how many I have in that group. Right, so I know with my 50s, I've got nothing between 50 and 54, and I've got one between 55 and 59. And I've got one between 60 and 64. And so you got those leaves all lined up so that they're easy to count. So yeah, if you have duplicates, definitely make sure that you write that number as many times as it shows up.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, Rosie. I'll get that other assignment into you like later tonight.
Perfect. I probably won't check until like after 8 o'clock anyway. But if you get it in after that and you want me to change your grade right away, just shoot me a message that says, Rosie, I got it done. Can you change it? And this way I'll know to go look for it.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, Bree.
Bye. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too. See ya.
All right, I'm gonna submit this and turn it in Google Docs. Hopefully it'll work out. So I'll catch you later, Rosie.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason.
Have a good day.
See you, buddy, too.
Alrighty, my work submitted. Take
All
it
set,
easy.
Aiden. Awesome. Aiden, do me a solid, brother. Please try to log into these Google Meets with your school Gmail if possible, just so I don't have to admit you every time. It's just a whole bunch easier on my end, especially if you're late and I'm already doing my thing, then I'll have to like back myself out just to let you in. It's all good though.
Sure.
But if you can remember, that would help me out a whole lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, man. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can make it so it logs me on automatically.
Are you on your phone or are you on your computer?
On my computer.
Okay, yeah, it's probably just a setting in whatever browser you're using. If you're using Chrome, if you look up in the top right of Chrome, it should have the ability for you to kind of cycle between whatever whatever account you want to use.
Yeah, I'll just add that on my school account, I guess.
Yeah, that would work.
Can I like rejoin and see if it'll work if I switch it?
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, Rosie.
What's up?
So I need your advice and to kind of talk to you about something because I don't really have like any idea on what to do.
Okay.
So, today I found out a lot of different news. So I got accepted to Lincoln Tech, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy.
That's awesome. Congrats, man.
And then, so I live with 2 roommates, right? And they pay the rent, and I pay the electric bill, the water bill, and for half the groceries.
Okay.
So they make way more money than me because obviously I can't work full time and stuff yet because I'm still in school.
Right.
Sweet.
All good, Aiden. Thanks, bud.
Alrighty, take it easy. Have a good one.
Thanks, man. You too. Jack, let me just stop recording.